clean start here, and now without his Brown, Venasio of the Bears also putting in a good push. This is going to be a good race down the finish here. Stride for stride. Leticia Venasio makes a push, and that one's going to be close. Looks like Brown might have got her at the line, but Brown, Smith, and Venasio all down the stretch right there. And what a run by Leticia of LR. Going to be checking the times to see where how that race finished up. It was very, very close. The race keeps moving on as now we have men's 110-meter hurdles getting set up. In lane 2, we'll have Kyle Mann of Mars Hill, his first race of the season. Davin Willis Howard of Montreat. In lane 3, Hank Yelton of Montreat. In lane 4, Brandon Jefferson of Montreat. In lane 5, Caleb Wells of Montreat. In lane 6, and Josh Warster of Catawba in lane 7. This will also be his first race of the season. lot of the blocks now. You see that looks like a nice tight race right there. Might have Bishop on the outside winning it, with Wells of Montreat right behind him. Nice run by those men. We're going to clear the hurdles all off the track, and then we'll have the 400s up. One heat of that for the women, one heat of that for the men as well. A correction, we'll have 3 heats of that for the men before we move on to the 100. So, while they clear the hurdles off the track and everybody gets set, we'll take a short break and be back here on the Bear Sports Network.
We're back at Moritz Sports at the Iron Boat Track as we have the women's 400-meter dash. Six runners are here on the track. We'll have in lane 1 Skylar Payne. In lane 3 Casman Harris. Lane 4 Samantha Payne. Lane 5 our very own Sadia Hardwick from Lenoir Rhyne. Lane 6 Gianna Gutierrez. Lane 7 Lauren Morrison Bell, and then lane 8 Alina Baltons. So 4 Catawba runners, 1 Lenoir Rhyne, and 1 Ferrum. As you heard in the background, gun has been shot, and that first 400 is out the way. So Sadia Hardwick from Lenoir Rhyne's opened up a little lead as she comes around that first 150. She's followed closely in lane 3 by Casman Harris. Skylar Payne has, with the second fastest time here in lane 1, is pushing Sadia Hardwick as they're down to the last 100 meter. It's between Catawba and Lenoir Rhyne. It's Catawba looks like they're pulling away. In lane 4 is Samantha Payne for Catawba with the 57 of a PR, followed right behind with Sadia Hardwick with her 58. Unofficially, it looks like Samantha Payne close to her PR with 57.59, followed right behind with Sadia Hardwick. So another top 3 finish there for Lenoir Rhyne. And just like that, the women's 400-meter run is out the way. Men's 400-meter run is up next as we have 3 sections. That's right, 3 sections of the men's 400-meter dash. Section 1 will have in lane 1 Justice Robinson from Lenoir Rhyne. Lane 2 Dominic Ferrum. Lane 3 Brian Pittman, Catawba. Lane 4 David Allen, Limestone. Lane 5 Nelson Stalling of Limestone. Lane 6 Dazen Harrison of Ferrum. Lane 7 Justin Tabron of Limestone. And finishing out in lane 8 Braxton Ford of Catawba. We'll have to pay attention here to lane 4 and David Allen of Limestone with a 47 second 400 meter as he's the fastest one in this heat. But anything here can change. He'll be followed up right beside his running partner Nelson Stalling, also of Limestone. So they go at it in practice. So we'll see them out here in lane 4 and 5 really going after it and pushing themselves in this race. Runners get into their blocks. Watch Justice Robinson from Lenoir Rhyne. So his PR here is 51.23. It looks like he'll try to set a new one today, as every single meet we try to. So we'll follow along him closely just because he is of Lenoir Rhyne and this is a home meet for us. Looking to get a little home field advantage, especially with that too. Looks like lane 2 Dominic Ferrum has to move his blocks a little further back as he had him up in front of the start of it. Looks like a faulty start here, so from the gun shooter. So looks like runners get back into their blocks and restart that up. Looks like out in lane 7, Justin Tabron is coming out of no block. So it's interesting as he has a 51 second. See if he can PR with that. Runners back in the blocks, and they are off. As expected, David Allen of Limestone is off to a quick start, as he does have the fastest time in this entire heat. Wow, and he has already separated himself a little bit from the pack. Also in lane 1, once again, we do have Justice Robson with Lenoir Rhyne, so we follow him as he tries to set a new PR. David Allen coming around this last 150. Here comes Catawba runner, not too far behind him, and Brian Pittman out there in lane 3. Ooh, and here comes in lane 3, Brian Pittman, as he's going to steal a win here. And he's finished up unofficially around the 48-second mark. Justice Robson comes in at 51, right near his PR, so we'll have to see what his time is when the official comes out. But there it is, Brian Pittman of Catawba coming in and stealing the win in this first heat of the men's 400-meter race. Like I said, you have to stick around because we still have 2 more heats of the men's 400-meter runner. We'll have section 2 here. In lane 2, we'll have Ethan Bemis of Catawba. Lane 3, Alberto Pinero of Ferrum. Lane 4, Seth Schaffer of Ferrum. Lane 5, Jalen Hall of Catawba. Lane 6, Nolan Chilton from Catawba. And number 7, Jesse Schrantz from Catawba. Looks like it should be a tight run here as everyone's around the 51, 52 second meter or second run here, so we'll have to pay attention to lane 4 and 5 and Ferrum Catawba, Seth Schaffer and Jalen Hall. So they'll be going at it with the 2 fastest times in this heat. So looks like we'll have another runner in this heat also who's not coming out of block, so we'll see how he fares up along with us, the field who are coming out of him. They're setting and they're going. All right. Section 2 of the 400-meter dash. Once again, lane 4 and 5, Seth Schaffer and Jalen Hall of Ferrum Catawba. Looks like they'll be trying to go after, as they do have the 2 fastest heat. Jalen Hall on lane 5. Looks like he's coming off to a good strong start as we're along the last round, the 180 meters left in this entire race. Jalen Hall out to a commanding lead as he is rounding the last stretch, and he's on to this last 100-meter marker. He looks like he'll take out first place easily, but right there in lane 4, like I said, Seth Schaffer does have the second fastest time. But he's being pushed by another Catawba runner, and Nolan Chilton out there in lane 6. So like I said at the beginning of the race, that was Jalen Hall from Catawba, the fastest time on the list. He does come out there in first place, and he's followed right behind with in second place Seth Schaffer of Ferrum, and he's followed in third right behind with Jesse Schrantz of Catawba. Well, if you like 400-meter running, you're in luck because we still have 1 more heat to go. The last section 3, the last 400-meter run. We have 4 competitors in this one. In lane 3, we have Elijah Swain of Mar Hill, Daniel Galagarza from Montreat College. Lane 5, we'll have Brandon Jefferson, also from Montreat, his running partner. And we'll have David Elkins in lane 6 from Mars Hill. So we have 2 Montreat and Mars Hill runners, so they'll be looking to push each other like they do in practice every day. Have to keep an eye on lanes 4 and 5. And the 2 Montreat runners, it's 55 and 56 PRs. It seems like a theme in all these 3 heats that someone comes out with no blocks, so we'll see how he fares against the rest of them as well. The gun's been shot and they're off. 50 meters already out the way. Strong push from lane 3, Elijah Swain from Mars Hill. So he's looking to catch the rest of the competitors out there in the top. 200 meters left already as they're moving around the track, coming up to these last 150. That's once again Elijah Swain from Mars Hill, looking like he can try to steal win here in this last heat, the 400 meters. But he's being pushed out there in lane 6. David Elkins, his running partner back home, looks like he'll take first place, followed right behind with Elijah Swain. And third, Daniel Galagarza, and his running partner Brandon Jefferson right behind them. Unofficially, it looks like a new PR for Elijah Swain as well. Also his running partner David Elkins. Oh, great 3 sections there, the men's 400 meter run. As up next on the track, we'll have the women's 100 meter dash. And I'll pass that off to my broadcasting teammate Anthony Brown, so he'll give you the women's 100 meter dash. We'll be back here at our own belt track.
Back here at Irwin Belk track for the LR opener. So we have the women's 100 now in the blocks. First heat up. Good start right there. Got a good push on the outside by the Bears, but looks like Limestone will take this one. Jalen Reeves. Good job by Jordan Seeley getting out early, but Reeves making a strong push down the second half of the race. Well, looks like she'll take that one. We'll get the live results on it. Just an update going on also right now. Right across the street is men's lacrosse, and they are facing Tusculum. Bears are winning that matchup. Started the second quarter, 7-2. Also check that one out in between breaks here on the Bear Sports Network. And ready for second heat here. We'll have 4 competitors. Jones of Catawba, Washa and Joshua of Lenoir Rhyne, and Johnson of Mars Hill. After this, the men will be up, and we'll have 3 sections of that one. Good start right there. Joshua out pushing. Strong race. I'm going to push on the inside right there by Jones. That'd be a close one. I have to check the times on that one as well. As I'm going to wrap up the women's 100-meter dash, and some good showings out there in both first and second heat. Next up, we'll have the men. Full section here. All 8 lanes being used in this first one. They're off. It's a good start. Good push right there by Noble. But a strong run on the inside by Michael of Limestone. It looks like he'll take it. Make sure we have the right name to match that, but it was a very, very quick run by the men right there, as you expect. 100-meter dashes. Just, you blink, it's over. And that'll take us right to the next section. See a couple of bears in this one as well. Looks like we'll have Xavion Hamilton and Cayman Maddox for the Bears running in this one as well. We'll get a reset in the blocks. And Maddox getting out to the fast start, looking to hold it off, getting a push on the inside. And couldn't tell who that was, but looks like Walter of Catawba made a push right on the inside and split the Bears. Taking heat too right there. What a race. Strong, competitive. Both Bears finishing up at the top of their times, and now we'll go on to the final heat. Heat 3. Have Mekhi Lewis of the Bears running in lane 2. It's going to be a see what you're made of heat, because none of these athletes have times coming into today, so chance for the coach to kind of see what these athletes put out there and show with running their first time this season. Let's start out and running away with this one. It's Betha of Limestone. Just pulling away from the field. Good showing for Betha in his first run of the season. Strong finish right there. And that'll wrap up the 100-meter dash. This day keeps moving on pretty quickly here. Next up on the track, we'll have the women's 800-meter run, then followed by the men. Stay with us here on the Bear Sports Network as we bring to you the Lenoir Rhyne opener from Irwin Belt Track on the Bear Sports Network. Back here on the Bear Sports Network, Anthony Brown, also joined by Colby Beaker, and bring it to you as you see on the screen right now, is set up for the women's 800-meter dash. In this first 800-meter run, this is not a dash, it'll be some quick times, but and they're off. I have to stay in their lanes all the way until they pass through the cones where they can break in. 2 laps around here. Andrews, Meadows, Dahlberg, Jerkness, Kessler, D'Amelio, Pinero, and Lowry are the 8 in this heat. Meadows pushes out to the front right now. A lot of these names you've already heard today. Andrews of Catawba sitting in second place. I expect this heat to be moving pretty fast now, as these are some ladies with strong numbers. As you can see, they pass over there by the high jump. Megan Bowman of LR, only jumper left, and she clears the height. We'll see what that height is. She's looking to add on to a PR she had last time out here. But we're getting ready to go into the bell lap here, and Meadows still up front. Final lap now, and Dahlberg also making a push on the outside. Meadows, Andrews, Dahlberg. It's your top three. Jerkness up in fourth. Dahlberg now making a push to second. And the Bears now trying to create some space. Meadows and Dahlberg. 200 meters to go. This one's going to be pretty interesting down the stretch now. See who's the strongest runner. Meadows and Dahlberg trying to create a gap on Andrews. And now Dahlberg making her push on the outside. Meadows and Dahlberg. Dahlberg now passing. Looking to finish out and take another first place finish. Dahlberg, then Meadows and Andrews. Chasing down the stretch. Dahlberg finishes first. Meadows, Andrews. And then Addie and Liz. Nice, strong race right there by the women in the first heat of 2 for the 800-meter run. McManus, Taylor, Fox, Vasquez, McGovern, Bishop, and Holdren are your competitors in the second heat of 800. Numbers are rolling in all over the place as events are finishing. Field events as well. Ladies here. Looks that's Bishop out front of this one. Holdren right on the shoulder. McManus in third. So we got a tight race here. Going into the final lap. Holdren will take the lead. About a lap on the way now. Holdren really opening up a space now. McManus will also pass and make her move into second place. Times Dahlberg came in at 2:21, Meadows at 2:23, Andrews at 2:24, Yerknes at 2:26, and Kessler at 2:29. All right, now we look at McManus, who's having a strong second lap and pulling away from the field here. Looking in to come at a good time. Strong finish right here is Pearson McManus. We'll finish this one out. Julia Holdren trying to hold off Carmen Bishop. Making a push. Is there enough? It's going to be close at the line. That was a close one right down to the end. You see the final couple of competitors finish right there, and that'll take us to the men's 800, where I'm going to pass the mic off to my good friend Colby. He'll take over this one. But while they get set up, we'll take a short break and get some of the live numbers and tell you what these athletes have finished at so far today. We'll be back on the Bear Sports Network.
And we're off back here at the Urban Belt track in this men's 800-meter run in Section 1. We'll have 6 runners here. 2 of our very own Lenoir Rhyne runners. Big shout out to my guys, Leonardo Martinez and Marcus Crumpler of LR. They're looking to set some new PRs. I know this is my buddy Leo's first outdoor 800-meter run, so he's looking to crack right under that 2 in his first meet, and Marcus Crumpler looking to follow up his second outdoor meet out here from 2 weeks ago, where he just broke 2, around 1:59. So they'll be looking to set some new PRs today, but they still have 1 lap to go, about a lap 50 here. Out there in first place, we got Tom Joyce of Catawba, who has the fastest time right there with his running partner Ethan Bemis, also of Catawba, both set at 1:55s. In second and third, you got Lenoir Rhyne runners and Marcus Crumpler and Leonardo Martinez. Leo looking to pass Marcus right there. As you know, they go at it during practice all the time. And Tom Joyce looks like to open up a little lead on the rest of the competitors as he's separated himself by about 20 meters here. Dominique Vinet of Ferrum has moved himself up into third place as he's passed Marcus Crumpler. Here comes Tom Joyce about to enter his last 100. Leo Martinez looks like he's putting in a kick as Marcus Crumpler moves back into third place. Tom Joyce looking to set a new PR, which he came in at 1:55. Leonardo Martinez with a good kick here. Marcus Crumpler in third. Unofficially looks like Tom Joyce put a new PR. And Leonardo Martinez unofficially has breaking that 2-minute mark there, which I know he wanted to come out and do. He's followed by Marcus Crumpler in third, and fourth Dominique Vinet, and then Everett Reimer, also of Catawba. So very fast heat there in the men's 800 meter. In section 1, we'll have section 2 coming up here. Here we go, section 2. We'll have 6 runners here. Our very own Jason Whitehead of Lenoir Rhyne out there in lane 3, so we'll watch him as he has home field advantage. Tom Joyce with a 1:53 new PR for him in the section 1 of the men's 800 meter. He's followed right behind by 2 LR runners, Leonardo Martinez with a 1:58 and Marcus Crumpler 1:59. So 2 PRs for both of them in this first outdoor meet for Leo and second for Marcus Crumpler. But here we are at section 2 though. Out there in lane 1 right now, but who's in first is Tyson Gotchi of Farron, who does have the fastest time coming into this heat with a 2:05. So we'll see what he officially runs here. He's followed right behind by our very own Lenoir Rhyne Jason Whitehead. In third, we'll have Jordan Kinzer Hudson from Cleveland CC College. So as they've passed that first lap on their last lap here, we'll see it if anything's changed, but it looks like Tyson Gotchi is pulling about a 30-40 meter lead ahead of everybody else in the field. Jason Whitehead looks like he is trying to separate himself and be a clear, distinct second place runner. Roy Garcia looks like he's trying to make a strong push on this back 250 to move himself up into third, but he has to get past Jordan Kinzer Hudson of Cleveland CC. Gotcha Farron coming around his last 100 meters. He's followed right behind by Jason Whitehead. Gotcha Farron finishes up. Looks like he set himself a new PR too, coming in with a 205. Here comes Jason Whitehead. He'll finish up in second, finish right behind with Jordan Kinzer Hudson. Roy Garcia, Brad Barbie, and Hunter Schneider. And that'll wrap up our both heats of the men's 800-meter run. Up next on the track, we'll have the women's 400-meter hurdles. You'll hear that from our very own Anthony Brown. We'll be right back on the Bear Sports Network.
Back here at the Irwin Bell track, we have the women's 400 meters. They're nice and set and off to the races. 3 limestone competitors here: Scott, Reese, and Smith. All look the best their season times of 1:08 as they do 400-meter hurdles here. One of the toughest races in track and field. I mean, I've hurdled myself, and you don't want to catch any parts of the 400-meter hurdles. Much respect to anybody who's willing to do this. A very technical race, but also you have to be fast still. And it's just 400 meters. You're expected to run full speed the whole time, but you got to make sure your steps are right. So seeing these ladies go out, and they're coming to what's usually the hardest part of the race right here down the backstretch, the final curve. 2 more hurdles to go. Looks like Scott has pushed out in front. The ladies finishing the race strong here. Clear the last hurdle. 40 meters to go. They're all going to finish in. Good job by the competitors. We go on to the men's, where the hurdles will be raised up a little bit, and we'll have 2 competitors, one from Montreat and one from Mars Hill. While we get that set up, we'll take a moment and be back to you on the Bear Sports Network. And they're off. Yelton and Rhyne looking to set a hot pace here. Good strides. Nice long strides by these two athletes as they go into their second hurdles. Impressive. See two competitors here looking to push each other, and see a big malfunction in steps as Rhyne lost a large lead right there, and that's just a momentum killer. Here the teammates pushing them on. So it's like Yelton will come across here first, and Rhyne finishing his first 400-meter hurdle race. That'll wrap up for the 400-meter hurdles. The hurdle crew will get them off the track, and we're closing in on some of the final events of the day. 200, 5,000, and then a 4x4. Just 3 events left here at Irwin Belk Track. We're going to take a short break while they clear the track off, and Kobe will be back here with you as he presents the women's 200-meter dash.
Welcome back to Moret Sports Iron Belt Track. I'm Kobe Beaker, and we're back out here with another beautiful racing day. Many competitions are down here, and we're at going to the last couple competitions that were at the women's 200-meter dash. We have two sections of that. There's about 16 runners, 8 in each. So, in this first heat, in lane 1, we'll have Jordan Sheely of Lenoir Rhyne, Zaria Hall, Lenoir Rhyne, Sadia Hardwick, Lenoir Rhyne, Desiree Connor, Limestone, Samantha Payne, Catawba, Tai Holmes, Limestone, Kayasha Brown, Limestone, and Mallory Witherspoon of Catawba. So, we'll be looking at lane 4, Desiree Connor, who does have the fastest time on this performance list from Limestone with a 25.79. She's followed not too far behind by Samantha Payne of Catawba with a 26 flat. So we'll see these two girls out there in lane 4 and 5 get after it. We'll have our very own Jordan, Zaria, and Sadia, all from Lenoir Rhyne out there in 1, 2, and 3. So home field advantage, we'll have to take a look at those 3 as well. Looks like all runners are in their blocks. They're setting, and the gun is shot. These ladies are out in section 1 of the women's 200-meter dash. So we already have 50 meters down, out the way. Another 50 about to come up here, gone. We're down here to the last 100. And like I said, out there in lane 4 and 5, like I said, Desiree Connor and Samantha Payne from Limestone Catawba going after it. But don't count out in lane 3, our very own Sadia Hardwick out there. She's making a good pitch. Here comes Jordan Sheely, also from Lenoir Rhyne. Unofficially, I can't see, but in first, it's 100% Desiree Connor from Limestone. She's followed a tight second, third, fourth of Jordan Sheely, Sadia Hardwick, and Samantha Payne, 2 Lenoir Rhyne runners and a Catawba runner. So we'll have to see those times come up here, get you some official splits, and see if any new PRs were set out here. We're in section 2 already as the ladies are getting into their blocks over here. The last heat of the women's 200-meter dash. In lane 1, we'll have Kylie Johnson of Mars Hill. In 2 through 8, we'll have Lauren Bell Morrison, Catawba, Kiara Jones of Catawba, Jalen Reeves, Limestone, Janiyah Lynch of Limestone. In lane 7, Tanya Osagie from Lenoir Rhyne, and number 8, Skylar Payne of Catawba. Looks like Skylar Payne is a sister of Samantha Payne, both Catawba runners. So we'll see how well those two fare up against each other, as Samantha Payne does have a 3-second lead on her sister Skylar with a 26, and her sister Skylar with a 29. So we'll see how Skylar fares up against that last run that her sister just put up in that first heat. The ladies are getting to their blocks, and they're ready about to start off in this last heat, the women's 200-meter dash. The gun is shot, and these ladies are out. Once again, we'll be looking at lanes 4 and 5, as both Limestone runners do have the 2 fastest times in this heat. Here comes out of lane 4. That is Jalen Reeves from Limestone, who does have the official time, but she's followed close to being lane 2 by Kiara Jones from Catawba. Our very own Janiyah Osagie in lane 7 from Lenoir Rhyne. Looks like we'll have Jalen Reeves finishing first from Catawba, or from Limestone. She did have the fastest time, so no surprise there. Strong push from the rest of the competitors out there. Have to stick around, and we'll have to watch the men's 200-meter dash coming up next. We'll have 3 sections of that. You see them over there practicing, getting out of their blocks. Lanes 1 through 8 will have N1 Rashawn Noble from Catawba, Then we'll have Noah Twitty from Limestone, Nelson Stalling from Limestone, Jordan Clark, Limestone, Mikhail Hart, Limestone, Javarius Michael, Limestone, Dazen Harrison, Ferrum, and Brian Pittman from Catawba. So I have 2 Catawba, 5 Limestone runners, and a Ferrum runner. Seems like the theme we'll have to watch once again. Lanes 4 and 5. We do have the fastest, Jordan Clark and Mikhail Hart, both Limestone, all running partners with the 21.72 and 21.77. Most competitors here are right there in the 21-22 range, so you can go either way with all these runners here. As you hear a gunshot, there we go. And the first section of the men's 200 meter dash are off. Limestone has a bunch of competitors out there. They're going to try to get out fast as usual. Looks like lane 1 is pulled up with a little cramp here. But we do have here in lane 6, that's Javarius Michael from Limestone. He's followed right behind. In lane 3, have Nelson Stalling. Looks like Ferrum. Dezon Harrison finishes 3rd, and he'll finish right beside him, Brian Pittman of Catawba. Have a Catawba runner down. I would hope he's okay as they check out on him. Looks like he just pulled short up of a cramp to that first 100, so we hope he's okay, but we'll have to move on to this section 2. We'll have lanes 1 through 8 again. Lane 1 will have Caleb Silver from Montreat. Lane 3, Desmond Wilson, Limestone. Lane 5, Paul Moore, Limestone. Lane 7, Eli Tilley. In lane 8, Damari McPherson. Looks like the 3 Lenoir Rhine runners are supposed to be in this heat. I've pulled out from it, so no LR runners. It looks like we won't look at any of them. But, you know, we'll still have a tough race out of the rest of them. And we're off out here in section 2 of the men's 200 meter dash. First 70 meters down, 130 left to go. Here we go, last 100 here. Out there in a strong command lead, we'll have lane 5, Paul Moore out of Limestone. He's getting caught, looked like, by number 3, Desmond Wilson, his running mate. Here comes the rest of the competitors. Lane 1's coming in hot. Unofficially, it looks like out there in lane 1, Caleb Silver from Montreat. Looks like he came in there and stole the last second win. But he's followed closely behind by Paul Moore and Desmond Wilson, both from Limestone. Like I said earlier, if you're into 200 meters, you're in luck because we still have another section here left to go. We'll have, looks like it's supposed to be 8 runners, but we'll see how many come around. Lanes 1 through 8. Lane 1 will have Jalen Hall out of Catawba, Caleb Wells from Montreat, Xavion Hamilton, Lenoir Rhyne, Barja Walter, Catawba, Davian Willis Howard, Montreat, Quavatus Spartley, Ferrum, and Aquanzi Bethea from Limestone. Looks like all runners here in their blocks back ready to start in this last section of the men's 200-meter dash, and they're off. The gun's been shot. Coming out of their block strong. 5 total runners here. First 50 meters down, already out the way. Quick race here. 200 meters, trying to make a quick work of it. Out there in lane 4, that is Barja Walter from Catawba. He's trying to hold a commanding lead. He's followed right behind in lane 8, Aquanzi Bethea, Limestone, and lane 1, Jalen Hall. So it looks like we'll have Barja Walter from Catawba in first. Jalen Hall, his running mate, also in second from Catawba, and finished up in third, Aquanzi Bethea from Limestone. That is all sections of the men and women 200-meter dash. So up next, we'll have the women's 5,000-meter run. We'll be back on Bear Sport next week. And we're back here at Moret Sports Iron Belt Track as we have the start of the women's 5,000-meter run. I'm here with my co-host, my good friend Anthony Brown. We'll have 3 runners here, and Abigail Hamrick from Catawba, Mia Mercer of Catawba, and Alyssa Jamerson of Mars Hill. So we're about to, me and AB here will fill you in with some live stats, what's been going around in the field and throwing events. So, here around the track, outside of the run events here at our own boat track, we had Megan Bowman from Lenoir Rhyne finish with a total height of 410 at high jump, as she finishes first place. It's her second win of the year for her, the first place finish at least. I had 2 more competitors from Catawba and Limestone out there right behind her, finishing at 4.6 and 4.4. But Megan Bowman with a clean sweep in first place from Lenoir Rhyne of 4:10. Pass it off to my co-host AB as he fills you in a couple stats here.
In the women's 200-meter dash, they were led by Connor of Limestone at 25:28. Reeves of Limestone as well finishing second with a 25:64. And then Payne of Catawba coming in third at 25:80. 2 Bears followed that, Jordan Seeley and Saida Hardwick, 25.80, and a 26.02. Those are some of the performances we saw in the 200 as well. For the men's 200, Jarvis Michael, 21.78. Nelson Stallin, 22.28. And Dazin Harrison of Firm, he had a 22.62. Those were your top three runners in the men's 200 as well. We still have about 11 laps to go here. And the women's 5,000. After that, we'll have the men's 5,000. Then the final event of the day, the 4x4. So we're going to just take a quick pause here and be back with some more information on all the events that's happened so far today. Back here on the Bear Sports Network, just giving an update. 4 laps to go here in this women's 5K. These competitors look to finish out strong. Take a short break and bring to you the final 800 or so on the Bear Sports Network.
We're back here at Boat Track, taking a look at the women's 5,000 meter run. As we're on our bell lap here for Catawba runner Abigail Hamrick. She's finishing up her last lap, and the other two competitors, Mia Mercer and Alyssa Jamerson, as they have 2 laps to go. Abigail Hamrick looking up to close a new PR today. She runs on the sheet with 19:15. She's coming around the 6:35 mark on this last 250 left. She looks like she'll set a new PR. Abigail Hamrick for Catawba looks like she's going to absolutely smash her PR of a 19:15 here at the 5,000 meter run. She's coming around with this last 100 around the 17:15 mark, 2 minutes ahead of her PR time. In second place, Alyssa Jamerson. She's finishing up. She's about ahead on her last lap. She's about 3:50 left to go. And Mia Mercer, also from Catawba, looks like she'll be going to her a couple last laps. But Abigail Hamrick takes, with 1 lap to go, Abigail Hamrick coming up on her last 150. She's looking to try to get a new PR. Abigail Hamrick coming to the last 50 meters. Abigail Hamrick with a career day with a new PR, unofficially 19:05, 10 seconds faster than her 19:50, 15 on the sheet. Mia Mercer from Catawba looks like she's rounding about her last lap, but looking at Alyssa Jamerson from Mars Hill, looks like she has about 2:30 left in her run in this 5K race. She's coming in at a time of 22:21, so she looks like she might set a new PR as well. Great day to set PRs. Alyssa Jamerson, with her last 100 meters, trying to get a time faster than 22:21, as she has 20:20 on the time right now. 50 meters left for her. Looks like she will most definitely set a new PR for Alyssa Jamerson out of Mars Hill. Unofficially, 20:32, almost a full 2-minute PR for Alyssa Jamerson. Still have one runner left in Mia Mercer from Catawba. Mia Mercer with her last 50 meters in this last 5K for the women's. She officially around the 21:05 mark. That wraps it up for the women's 5,000 meter run. And if you like 5,000 meter runs, we have one more for you. We have the men's 5,000 meter run. Looks like we'll have 3 runners out there. Antonic Williams Mabin from Limestone, Brandon Burns of Catawba, Austin Snide of Catawba, and Clayton Stanford of Ferrum. All in the 16-minute mark. So we'll see if they get out it, stand up pack, and see where they finish off. So that's Antonic Mabin Williams of Limestone, Austin Snide of Catawba, and Clayton Stanford of Ferrum. All getting after in this men's 5,000 meter run. Like I said, they're all in the 16-minute mark. 16:03, 16:16, and 16:22. So we'll see if they can set any new PRs with these 3 staying together. Back at Ehrenberg track for the men's 5,000 meter run. Looks like the first mile is down. We'll have 2 left to go. It's looking like Antonic Williams-Mabin of Limestone and Austin Snide of Catawba. Looks like they're staying together. Looks like they could try to finish out and push each other to sub 16, right over 16 mark to finish this off. And Clayton Stanford out of Ferrum, it's about 40 meters behind him, so see if he can catch up there soon. But once again, that's Limestone and Catawba. Antonic Williams-Mabin and Austin Snide looks like they're going to probably stick together and ride this one out to the end, as they came in around sub 5 through that first mile. We're back at our own belt track. Still on this men's 5,000 meter, we have Antonic Williams-Mabin of Limestone and Austin Stein of Catawba still right there with each other. They're now 2 miles in, 1 mile left to go. They're trying to get new PRs of 16:03 for Mabin and 16:22 for Snide. We got Clayton Stanford of Farron falling behind them.
Yeah, this will be
Welcome back to Aaron Buck Track out here at Marette Sports Stadium. We're still watching the men's 5,000 meter run. I'm joined here with my good friend Harrison Hickman. Ran the 1,500 meter run earlier. He's here just to tell you a little bit about what he's seen out here on the track, how he felt during his race, and what he plans to do out here for the future.
Okay, yeah, so starting with the race at hand right now, the 5,000 meter race for the men's. So right now we have 3 people in the race right now. 2 are up in a pack up front, especially the guy in first. I don't know his name. The guy in first is looking really strong. I think he'll probably come out on top in this matchup. They've got about probably 0.6 of a mile left. So, yeah, they're looking strong. I think they'll come around at a really good time.
Harrison, so tell me, walk through about a lot of these people out here watching not really know the mental capacity it takes to run a 1,500 meter and you know what it takes beforehand to warm up and get stretched and all that stuff. I don't run the 1,500 meter. I probably could never do that. So go through what it's like for you to get mentally prepared to go out there and run a race like that.
Okay, of course. So the 5,000 meters, it's a long race. It's one of the longest, the second longest race in track. So there's a lot of preparation that goes into it. First of all, just hydration, stretching, having a good base under you for mileage is obviously very, very key coming into this race. And of course, now they're about half a mile out, 0.3 maybe. So now they're really starting to feel it. This is where, this is kind of like a toss-up. Right now, it's all mental game. Whoever can come out on top in mental game is going to win the race right now. Right now, it looks like one's pulling away from 2 right now. So, yeah.
So, Harrison, you're only a freshman. I mean, we had a large freshman class come in. We've had a lot of freshmen shine in indoor and outdoor. So this was your first outdoor meet officially today that you ran for your freshman experience at LR. How do you feel about the future and where this program is heading?
Yeah, I feel very bright about the future. I think it's going to be really good. I think we're building a strong program. We, back on our P's and Q's this week, starting leading up to conference. Hopefully our distance team will be, in great shape come conference. So that's the goal right now. We're pointing towards it. I think the future is very bright for our program.
Nice. That was Harrison Hickman here. Ran the 1,500 meter earlier. Part of our cross-country program here at LR and freshman. So he's going to look at close out the year strong. So thank you for joining me, Harrison.
Thank you.
So maybe as you heard in the background, we're on the bell lap of this 5,000 meter run. And as Harrison said earlier, Antonic Williams-Mabin of Limestone has pulled away a little bit from his competition as he's around 20 meters 20 meters ahead of his second place runner right now, and Austin Snide of Catawba, coming around right around the PR mark. So 16:03 is what Williams-Mabin is looking to try to carry out and get a better PR, and he looks to be chugging down this last 105 meters an hour. Right in front of him, about to finish up his last bell lap is Clayton Stanford of Ferrum. Not officially have a time, so he's looking to come out here. Might be his first meet, look at there and close strong, but that's Williams-Mabin out there closing very strong around the 15:40 mark. Right behind him, Austin Snide, his last 30 meters. And Williams and Maben unofficially 15:40, which would be a tremendous new PR, around 30 seconds faster. And he's followed in second place. Like I said, Austin Snide with almost a 50-second PR, around the 15:45, which he originally ran 16:22. So good PRs, just like we've seen good PRs out of the men's and women's side in this 5,000 meter race, as we still have Clayton Stanford who's going to finish up this men's 5,000. But let's stick around for a little longer because we still have the women and men's 4x4 meter relay, and that's on your Bear Sports Network. Welcome back to Buck Track, as we're here at the last two competitions of the day in the 4x4 for the men's and women. Only have one team competing for the women's 4x4, and that'll be Catawba. Starting off with them, number one, they'll have Gianna Gutierrez. She'll be handing off to Lauren Morrison-Bell, who gives it to Raina Andrews, and followed by Samantha Payne. Saw Samantha Payne earlier with a strong 200-meter run as she closed out. Looks like she got first in her heat. So we'll see how she does in this 4x4 relay, as they're trying to beat a time of 4:19 as their official PR. Gianna Guitar is already 200 meters down, 200 meters left. She's moving fairly well. She's already gotten to the last 150. She'll be handing off next to Lauren Morrison-Bell. Smooth pass off to Lauren Morrison-Bell. She's already 50 meters down into her race. She'll be coming around and passing it off to Raina Andrews. Catawba, the lone competitor out here, so making it a little harder to get a new PR, but they're still trying as hard as they can, still chugging along as she transitions into her from fourth to first in lanes. This is Morrison-Bell. She's down to her last 80 meters. Looking good, nice stride. She'll be handed off to Raina Andrews, her running teammate. So they're making good time around the unofficially 2:10 mark as they're going to be handing it off. There goes Raina Andrews. Another smooth transition. Oh, barely got out of the way of Ferrum runner in the men's 4x4. Rana Andrews already 100 meters down, 300 left to go. She'll be passing off to one of the 200 meter winners and Samantha Payne, one of Catawba's fine runners. .200 meters left to go for Rana Andrews as they're unofficially 2:45 with 150 left. Last curb here for Andrews. .53 meters left for Andrews. They pass off to their last runner, Samantha Payne. They're smooth hand around 3:12 unofficially as Samantha Payne's finished the last lap for Catawba and the lone competitor out here in the women's 4x4. 50 meters down already for Samantha Payne, and she looks to make good work out of this 400. Samantha Payne, 200 meters left in this last 4x4 competition for the women's out here. Catawba, once again, lone runners. She's coming up on her last 100. 4:19 is their PR. She's going to try to beat that. 100 meters left here to go. Unofficially around the 4-minute mark. 19 seconds to beat it. That's all she needs. Last 50 for Samantha Payne here. So looks like they'll set a new PR for Catawba 4x4 with an unofficial 4:15. So, whole 4 seconds faster than their old PR. And that wraps it up on the women's side of competition for the day as we'll go to our last competition, the men's 4x4 meter relay. Three teams here for the men's 4x4 in the last track competition of the day. Limestone, Catawba, and Ferrum in the first lane for all these handing off. They'll have Justin Tabron of Limestone, Braxton Ford of Catawba, and Roy Garcia of Ferrum. So Limestone with the unofficial time has nothing on there, but Catawba with the 3:27 and Ferrum with the 3:53. So Catawba, as of right now off the sheet, does have the fastest time as the gun has been shot and these three teams have taken off of their first runners of the day. That's Catawba's Braxton Ford has gotten off to an early lead as Limestone's Justin Tabron is going to try to catch him, and Ferrum's runner Roy Garcia. $150 left for these runners already as they're 250 in. And that's Catawba's Braxton Ford out to an early lead out there in lane 4 for Catawba. So he's coming around with about 80 meters, 60 meters left, and he's making quick work out of this first run for the guys as he'll pass it off to his teammate Jalen Hall as they're looking to go for a new PR. There's Ferrum's runner Roy Garcia who's going to pass it off to Tyson Gotchi, and Limestone's Justin Tabron to Antonio Williams-Mabin. Catawba still in the commanding lead with Jalen Hall. And here comes Limestone's Antonio Williams-Mabin, who's already passed Ferrum's runner and Tyson Gotchi. Already coming up on 100 meters left for the second leg of this 4x4 for Catawba and Jalen Hall. He'll be passing off to his teammate, Tom Joyce. Ferrum looks like to come back, and Tyson Gotcha. He'll pass off to his teammate, Kevin Tate Jr., but don't count out Limestone's Antonio Williams-Mabin He'll be passing it to Kennedy Stinson. Catawba's Tom Joyce looks to be running pretty smoothly as he's coming up on his last 200 meters in the third leg, and he'll be passing it last off to his running mate Brian Pittman, who's looking to close up at a 3:27 as their PR. Ferrum and Limestone going right after it as Roy Garcia and Kennedy Stinson for them are coming back as they're passing each other on the 150-meter left mark. But still out there in front is Catawba with Tom Joyce, who will be passing off now to the last leg, and Brian Pittman. Brian Pittman looking to get in less than a minute to try to beat that new PR for them as well. But here comes Limestone, followed by Ferrum. That's Limestone's Kennedy Stinson, who's going to be passing off to his last runner, Kendall Frank. And Roy Garcia passed off to Dominique Vinay. See how they do. Try to keep it tight. But once again, it's still in a commanding lead with about 200 meters left to go. Is Catawba's Brian Pittman, as they're looking to set a new PR as well. Ferrum's Dominique Vinay is trying to catch Limestone's Kendall Crank in this fourth leg for the 4x4 and see if they can also set PRs as well. Limestone still has an unofficial time, but here comes on the last 80 meters. That is Brian Pittman of Catawba, looking like they'll finish out in first place. Big commanding lead. 3:27 is their time. And it looks like they'll unofficially 3:25, new PR for them. And here comes Limestone's Kendall Crank. Looks like he's put up a big lead on Ferrum's Dominique Vinay. They'll finish off in second. Unofficially for Limestone, that'll be around 3:41. But here comes Ferrum's Dominique Vinay finishing off for them unofficially. But they'll set a new PR as well. They came in at 3:53, unofficially 3:48. So great day running here for all competitors out here at our own belt track. The last competition for the men's and women's running events of
that'll do it for us today here from Irwin Belt Track. It's another meet down for the Bears this outdoor season. Real quick, just make sure you give a shout out and watch out for the men's 4x4 competing at nationals around 4:20. Give them a tune in as they make a chase for All-American status and also run at a national title. Thank you for joining us here on Bear Sports Network. I'm Anthony Brown with Colby Beaker, and have a great evening.